Hi, I'm Sarah and thanks for joining me today for part 3 of the beginner core workout series. If you haven't done part 1 or 2 yet, do make sure that you check those out and I'll leave links in the description box below this video for you to click on and that'll take you right to the video. So we're not going to need any equipment, just your lovely self and a mat if you have one, or at least a soft surface to work on, and we're going to start seated. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. Okay, so we're going to start seated as I mentioned before. So if you make sure you shuffle toward the front of your mat and you've got a bit of space behind you, you're just going to pop your feet on the floor and make sure the knees and feet are hip width apart. So we've got a crook position for the legs. That's what this is known as. And then we just need to find a nice neutral posture. So if you just relax your shoulders and very gently lift your breastbone up, your shoulder blades will fall more or less flush with your back, and you want to make sure you're on your sit bones. Okay, so those bony parts you can feel under each of your buttocks or each of your glutes, as we call them. Then you're going to be able to sit up nice and tall, chin level with the floor, crown of the head facing the ceiling. Okay, and now we're going to reach our arms out in front of us so they're parallel with the floor. All right, now we're going to roll back to supine. So remember, use your core to help you control this. So we're taking that nice big deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and draw the navel in. Let's come off the sit bones and then gently lower the ribs to the hips and lean back with the shoulders, coming down slowly and carefully into a full body stretch. All right, so you can point your toes, wiggle the fingers, and it's always really nice to flex your ankles here as well to stretch out the calves. And then place your arms by your sides, palms down, and then bring the feet back onto the floor so the legs are back in a crook position. And let's get ourselves nice and comfy, relaxing the shoulders and the hips. Now we're just going to start to warm up and we're going to use shoulder bridge. So before we start, let's engage the core. So we're going to take that lovely deep breath in again. And then exhale, draw the navel in and hold it there. The next time you exhale, just gently tuck your tailbone under, lift your hips, roll up through the spine toward the shoulders, and then you're going to breathe in to roll back down again. And slowly and carefully tip your pelvis forward. So we exhale to roll up, inhale to come down. Remember, nice and slow, lots of control. Try not to flare the rib cage when you come up as well. Keep it nice and relaxed and use your arms to help you balance. So you should have the back of your arms or back of the upper arms touching the floor. Lovely. We're going to make this one the last one. Brilliant. So when we come down, you can give your knees a squeeze. So just bring them towards you, give them a hug and circle them around just a couple of times in opposite directions. Okay, and then if you place your hands on the front of your knees, you're going to push the knees away from you, lift your feet so that you've got your shins level with the floor, your knees are above the hips. This is a tabletop position for the legs. Let's keep the navel drawn in, but also press your lower back toward the floor. That's called imprinting, and you can feel that it's tightened up the muscles around your waist, particularly the lower abdominals. Now we're going to come to a seated position, so let's take our arms overhead. You're going to breathe in and reach your arms up, then exhale, take hold of the back of the thighs and rock yourself to a seated position. Then from here, lengthen out the legs in front of you, then part your feet. You want a nice V shape here. Go as wide as you can and turn your toes up. So we're flexing our ankles. Let's try and find that lovely neutral posture again. So we're relaxing the shoulders, but lifting the breastbone. So we've got a really nice position for the shoulder girdle. And now you're going to widen out your arms, palms facing forward, thumbs up. Let's keep the navel drawn in. We're going to do seated spine twist. So on your next out breath, gently turn your body to your right. Okay, and then we're going to face forward and turn left. Let's just keep it going. So exhale, inhale. Nose and chin in line with the breastbone, arms parallel to the floor. Good, nice and steady movement. You're going to feel this around the top of your thighs toward the pelvis. It does get into the hip flexors. Here is where you might want a cushion. So if you do this workout again, which you should, lots of practice, make sure you sit on a cushion. It'll lift your pelvis and make you feel a bit more comfy. All right, but we're just going to go one more to each side. Good stuff. And then we're going to relax it. Bring the knees in. So pop the feet down on the floor. Give the shoulders a nice little roll. Okay, so then from here, we're just going to shuffle forward. Keep the legs in a crook position. So knees and feet hip width apart again. You're going to come down onto your elbows. So make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. You might just want to bring your feet a bit closer in when you get into this position as well. Now, right now we have no Pilates principles at all. So we do need to make sure that we lengthen through the spine. So to do it, you're going to gently press your elbows into the floor. Just lift the breastbone slightly, okay? So not so much that you flare the ribs. I want you to just try and find that lovely neutral scapular position. You'll also need to very gently tip your pelvis forward as well. Okay, so again, not too far. Just find what feels comfy. There should be no discomfort around your lower back. And you've got a nice line between the shoulders and hips. Perfect. Let's draw the navel in. So we've engaged the core and we're locking all this in place. Now let's extend the right leg, point the toes. We're going to raise that leg on the next out breath. Okay, so nice breath in first. And then exhale up. Inhale down. Keep it going for me. Nice smooth movement. And notice how every time you raise the leg up, your spine is trying to flex and drop down. So don't let it, but you'll really feel this around the front of the thigh up toward the pelvis. But it's working your core muscles because they're tightening and working to stabilize the pelvis. Let's just go for a couple more before we swap sides. Okay, let's come down, swap feet or swap legs. So right foot down, left leg lengthened. Let's stay nice and strong across the chest and the shoulders. Remember, tip your pelvis forward slightly. Find your long line, find neutral. Okay, take that breath in and then exhale, raise the left leg. Inhale down. Good. So working hip flexors, they make up a big part of your core. You should feel the muscles around your waist tightening as well. Good. Remember, all movement comes from your core, no matter how big or small. All right, let's go for another couple. And down. Last one. Perfect. And then if you just place your feet down, you can come all the way down to supine. Okay, so let's get ourselves nice and comfy again. Relax your pelvis, and then you're going to take hold of your left knee with both hands. Let's lengthen out the right leg, point the toes. Okay, take a nice deep breath in through your nose. On that exhale through the mouth, we're drawing the navel in again. Let's hold it there. And now you're going to lift your head and shoulders. Okay, you don't need to come up too far, but what we do want to do is be able to see the wall in front of us. So if you've not come up enough, you'll be looking at the sky and it puts loads of pressure on your neck, which we don't want. So use your core, draw the navel in. That's going to help you to lift your chest a bit more, look forward, feel a bit more comfy around the neck. Now you're just going to float your right leg off the floor. Take the left hand and place it on the outside of your left ankle. The right hand is just on the inside of your knee. You're going to do an exercise called the single leg stretch. Okay, so you're going to let go of this leg, bring the right knee in, place your right hand on the outside of the ankle, and then swap again. Okay, now don't worry if you get the hand movements wrong. It doesn't matter, you can just take hold of the knee. But you're trying to take hold of the outside of your ankle with the same side hand. Okay, the other hand is going across the midline of the body. Now keep the toes pointed, keep your head and shoulders nice and still. Shoulders back and down. Okay, so they're nowhere near your ears. Exhale down. Inhale as you pass through center. We're just going to go for another 4. Okay, really working those core muscles. 3, 2, and 1, all the way down. Wow, well done. Let's take a nice big deep breath in now. Relax your abs. Just breathe deeply and give yourself a bit of relief. We're going to stay in supine a little bit longer. Okay, so if you pop your feet down on the floor again, so the legs are back in crook. All right, let's make sure we've got a nice relaxed pelvis. We're going to take another deep breath in through the nose. And then on that exhale, again, we're drawing the navel in. We're engaging our core. Okay, let's raise the left leg up. Carefully lift your head and shoulders just like you did before when we were doing the single leg stretch, but you're going to take hold of the back of your thigh. So make sure you're on the thigh, not the back of the knee or the calf. You want to be right here. Okay. And again, make sure you can see the wall in front of you. You're not looking up at the sky. You're then going to extend the right leg. So the leg is going out at a diagonal. Point the toes. Now let's just gently draw the left leg towards us. Let go and catch the other leg. We exhale on the catch. Inhale as you swap. There's a little pulse here as well. You can notice that. So when you catch the leg, little pulse right there. So shh, shh, good. So if you can do that, you're going to be working your core again, really strengthening those abdominals, but stretching out the hamstrings, the back of your thighs at the same time. Okay, keep it going if you can, but rest if you need to. All right, let's go for another 4, 3, 2, 1, and amazing. Come down. Again, breathe nice and deeply. Relax your tummy muscles. Breathe towards your abdominal, can't say my words today. Breathe towards your tummy button, towards your abdominals. Give them a nice little bit of relief. Perfect. All right, so we're going to do another exercise in supine. And this is also going to work your abdominals, of course. And it's kind of a practice for when we do an exercise called the roll up, which we do from supine to seated. Okay, so if you can just place both feet on the floor. And then you're going to reach your arms overhead. Now try and keep the navel drawn in, so we've got our core engaged. You also want to press your lower back toward the floor, so that imprinting technique is back. Okay, now let's take that lovely deep breath in. Exhale, raise your arms, head and shoulders, and reach forward. So when you come up, you end up with your arms floating by your sides, you're looking between your knees, but you've really got that navel drawn in. Breathe in to roll back. Okay, so we exhale slowly up. Inhale back. Try not to throw the body forward. Really use the strength of your abdominals to control this movement. Okay, so your abdominals or your abdominal muscles are your spinal flexors. Good. Let's add some legs in as well, make it a little bit more interesting. So every time you come up, you're going to raise one leg vertically and place the foot down when you reach back. You're just going to alternate legs. And breathe. Let's be nice and precise here as well. And when you raise the leg up, try and make sure you keep the back of your pelvis down so you're not tucking your tailbone under. Let's really protect the lower back as we do this exercise. Lovely. We've just got a few more to do. Almost there. Let's go for 4. And 3, 2. And our last one. Perfect. Okay, come all the way down. Give your knees a little squeeze. Circle them around. And then, if you place your hands on the front of your knees again, you're going to push the knees forward, lift the feet so the shins are level with the floor. So we're back with that tabletop position. Draw the navel in and press the lower back toward the floor. And now we're going to try and come up to seated using our assisted roll up. So we're reaching our arms back. Remember, take a breath in as you start to reach up. And then exhale, take hold of the back of the legs and rock up to seated tall. And then from here, we're going to come into an all fours position. So somewhere around the middle of your mat, you want your hands under your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, shoulders back and down. And let's find a neutral posture. So that lovely straight line, including the head. So you're just looking directly at the floor below. Let's keep our elbows soft. All right, take a nice deep breath. Exhale and tuck the tailbone under, draw the navel up, press your hands into the floor and nod the chin to the chest. So we've got a little cat position. Now breathe in and lift the tailbone. Allow the rib cage to sink down and gaze up. We're going to keep that going. Exhale on the cat. Inhale on the cow. Rippling through the spine. So try and make sure that you lead the movement with your tailbone, and you're rippling through that sequential control, a bit like when you do your shoulder bridge. Lovely. And then let's come back to neutral right here. Good. And then if you walk your hands to your knees and come into a kneeling position, we're just going to have a few nice, deep, relaxing breaths just to mark the end of the session. So shoulders back and down. Let's still draw the navel in. You're going to take a lovely big deep breath as you reach your arms up. And then exhale. Bring them down. And again. And down. Last one. Well done. Well done if you made it to the end of this session. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, remember to give the video a like, give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to hear from you as well, so make sure you leave me a comment and let me know if you enjoyed that and what you found helpful. I'd also love to know if you've been doing part 1 and 2 as well, so let me know in the comments below how you've been getting on with that. So with all that said, I just want to say thank you so much for moving with me again today, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Have a lovely day. Bye.